What up, what up, what up, everybody, man? Welcome to another episode of the podcast, Jody Sosa Podcasts. Oh, man, I just want to tell everybody, like I always tell you, I appreciate the love, the support, and everything that everybody been, supporting my channel and just supporting everything I've been doing. And I want to thank everybody on my Facebook that left a comment of up and coming episodes that I was thinking about doing. I just want to get y'all opinion, and y'all gave me some great advice, and I be wanting to know what the consumers want to hear and stuff, and what they want to listen to. So I appreciate that, and just stay safe, man. Remember that the coronavirus still out there. I know a lot of people protesting and stuff. We had curfew yesterday because of the whole riot things and all that. So I just encourage everybody to stay safe, man. We know what's going on, and just like just stay safe, man. And let's get to it. Today's episode, I had an incident happen at my job, so I felt that I should get my mom on. I got a guest today, my mom. I felt like I should talk to her about it, so I just wanted to share this conversation with you guys, with her, because I had it's not an incident, but just something at work that I just felt like it was a good conversation to talk about it on here with her. So I'm gonna jump straight into that, and I hope y'all enjoy it, man. Just let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Jody. So let's go.
Okay.
Hey everybody, we got a special guest today. My mom, a former guest that been on here numerous of times. How you doing?
Good. What it do?
Wow, you're crazy. So, all right. So today, I want to talk to you about. I had an incident. Now I wouldn't say incident, but I had something happen at work with this boy. It wasn't like nothing like bad. It just I don't know. I'm just asking myself, like, should I be offended by what he was saying or asking? So basically, I was training.
Okay, so what happened? Give me the scenario. What happened?
Yeah. So basically, I was training this white boy from Oviedo, and so when we started working, I introduced myself. Hey, I'm Jody such. I'm gonna help you do this, do that. He's like, okay. So as we working, he asked me, was I from around there? If anybody don't know, I work at Castleberry. So he's like, are you from around here? And I was like, nah, I ain't from around here. Where you stay at? He said, do I stay around? I said, no, I stay around. So we stay. I said, I stay at Pine Hills. He was like, oh, okay. Then he asked me, he was like, oh, is it really bad in Pine Hills? And I was like, I said, depends. I said, he was like, do people really be getting killed every day? I was like, what the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, because he sounded like, what the hell? Like, I say, nah, or whatever. So then he asked me again. He was like, oh, do I smoke weed? And I was like, nah, I never smoked weed before. I don't know how to smoke. And then he was like, you don't smoke? He was looking at me like in shock. And I was like, yeah, I don't know how to smoke. And he's like, so he was like, wow. And then he asked me, so when I was asking, I asked my man, I say, why he asking me so many questions about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, black people, whatever. And then he asked me, so that was one day. Then the other days, I'm gonna just tell you some things. One day he asked me, he was like, which was a very good question, but I told him, I say, I don't have an answer for it. I'm the type of person, if I don't really have an answer for you, I don't know. So he asked me, say, you know how, no, he said, do white people live in Pine Hills? I was like, yeah, Miss Teresa live in Pine Hills. She stay on the outskirts of Pine Hills. And he was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah. I said, what you think, white people want to stay in Pine Hills? He was like, yeah, but what they do to them in Pine Hills? I'm like, what do you think Pine Hills is? Like, and then he was like, this is so, it's like, he had me kind of thrown, because he was like, what they do with white, like, if it's a white person in Pine Hills, what they do? I was like, I don't know what you would think, the same place that it happened when you stay at now. I don't know what you think of what you expect. And then, so he asked me that. So he was like, at first, I like, when I told my manager, I wasn't telling her to, like, tell on him or nothing, but I thought it was kind of, like, funny that he asked me that. And I said, dang, why did you ask me all the questions about the hood? And she was like, oh my God, did you get offended? I'm so sorry. I was like, nah, I mean, I wasn't offended.
Oh, no.
I wasn't offended.
Yeah, never offended.
Yeah, I said, because I got stereotyped. You know, when I had my first set of dreads, I said,
exactly. Yes, I was going to bring that up. Exactly. I wouldn't say get offended because he didn't say anything or call you anything out of character, nor did he say anything to you as far as derogatory. So he's inquiring, he's asking questions. He does not know. Now, if he came at you with the intent, with the pretense of knowing, and then trying to confront, his knowledge with your knowledge and what he know and what he's seen and what he witnessing, then I can say, okay, he's just trying to be, ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it can be offensive. But I get it a lot here in Texas because, people that's not, of color, they're intuitive. They don't know. They want to know. And it's good for people like him that can ask people like yourself that wasn't, raised wretched or disrespectful or out of manner or hood or drug dealer, alcoholism. You wasn't raised up in that lifestyle, so it kind of struck him differently because it looks like, okay, you a different black person. And I get told it a lot, and it's not called a different black person. It's just that you are who you become. You know what I'm saying? So you're respectful. Pine Hills do have a kind of bad, like that bad character or
that stain on his name.
Yeah, crime hills they call it. But Pine Hills has actually every city has its bad spots, right? So because Pine Hills is the topic, of the news a lot, or in people, ears, or what they see, what they hear, so quite naturally it's easy to, label Pine Hills as a bad place. So he thinks that nobody in Pine Hills can come out of it as, as a good person. And then bumping into you living in Pine Hills, oh my gosh. And he never smoked. Oh, and he never, are you sure you from Pine Hills?
That's how he looked at me. He asked me, he asked me another question, and when he did ask me that, I told him, I say, look, because I felt like it was a moment to teach him versus just like, I feel like as individuals that like ourselves, like me and you, that actually like talk to people and actually have good conversations. I feel like when people come at us like that, we should use that moment to teach them about things they don't know that they think about us. So when he asked me, I said, look, I said, Pine Hills, yes, it's a predominantly black place, right, where people stay, and it's poverty constricted and stuff like that, where we don't have really no jobs. It's no Chick-fil-A, it's no Publix, it's no Panera Bread, it's no Chipotle. So them things that you would see, it ain't none of those for real. And I'm tired of driving to go to them.
No, it sure is.
So it's pretty much just a Walmart and a couple of fast food places, and the rest is the hood. So
and I said,
yeah, and I said, yeah, that's it. So I told him, I said, but you can get, I say, crime is everywhere. It doesn't matter. It just depends. I say, actually, I stand in Pine Hills. I say, crime doesn't happen there. I say, you got Good Homes Road, you got Claire Corner Coy, you got, you got certain places where things don't happen. And, you got other places where things happen. But I say any crime is everywhere. Right now, the world is going crazy right now. It's everywhere. So it's like, you can't you can't go in a place with that mindset and, thinking that, it's a bad place over here. He was like, yeah, it's like real low houses over there. So I was wondering, like, if I stayed over there, will I be safe? I was like, if you tend to stay to yourself, I think you'll be okay. But I say, is it a little bit more crime, more than most places? I say, to be honest, yes. But I say, don't be afraid to live your life because you think crime, shoot. So it was a moment to like have a good conversation with him and all that. Then he asked me a question that I really didn't have the answer to, because the answer I wanted to give him, I was like, he said, good question that he gave me too. He said, but he started off wrong. I'm gonna tell you what he said. He said, hey, I just want to let you know, I have black friends. I'm like, oh God. I was like, why did you start it off like that? I was like, I said, okay. I said, okay. And he was like, but you know how they always say how white people feel about black people, and they say this and that and stuff. He was like, what do black people say about white people? And I was like, oh, that's a great question. I was like, but I didn't really want to tell. I say, you know what? So I kind of like, because we at work, I got to let people know we're in a work environment. So I don't really want to have this conversation with him. And I don't want him to feel uncomfortable either. So I told him, I said, man, we'll talk about it one day at a decent time and stuff. Because I feel like the conversation will probably it could go either or. So I told him, I said, I don't know.
Good answer.
And yeah. So I wanted to let him know, like, hey, if I want people to know, if I don't have the answer to something, I'm not afraid to say I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If I don't know, I don't know. I'd rather tell him no, because I don't want to give him something that he just be like, well, this black dude, because what I might tell him might stick with him he's only 19.
Exactly.
He's 19.
Because he being 19, he ain't even live. So being so vulnerable like he is, and because he's so thirsty to know about, black people, it's good that, people like, yourself or whatever, that doesn't mind educating them. I prefer you come at me at an open mindset so I can feed you properly, versus you coming at me, then I'm going to have to be back at you. But like you said, it's a time and place for everything. I mean, good that he's trying to get an answer from you, but just let him know that what we call people from our mouth is very powerful. The words come out of your mouth are so powerful, and people need to be careful what they say, because like you said, whatever come out of your mouth, because he was so open, it was going to stick with him. Mm-hmm. And it was going to ride with you for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And it proves its point to what you just said to him. So it's good that you shut that down, so not it coming from you. So that was really good and professional, quick thinking. But coming from him, anytime you call somebody a name, it's not right. So what we call this color and what we call that color, it's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? So I won't want to call you out your name. If I call you John and your name really Peter, that's disrespectful. If you tell me your name is Peter, why would I call you John? That's calling you out your name. So that's being disrespectful. So no, you don't act what we call white people, and we're not going to act white people what they call black people, because it's name calling.
Or what he said, what we call them, like as in not what we call them, but as what we
color.
No, not color, mom. What we call them, like behind, like how they say, oh, what do we think of black people? Like, what do we think of white people? Like, that's what he basically. Yeah, he like, what y'all, how white people think of black people. What do black people think of white people? That's what he was going. Yeah. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to moonwalk out of this conversation. I don't think this is something I need to be talking about. So I kind of let.
You know what? Even if he asks you what do black people think of white people, you're still asking us for our personal opinion, or you're just asking for an opinion. Everybody got one. You know what I'm saying? So he can ask you today, you're going to say this. You can go ask another black boy or black man this day, he's going to say that. So everybody's going to have their own opinion. So, in actuality, all race acts, they all have their good and their bad races. We got our good, not black. We got our good black people, bad black people. Same thing. White people got their good white people, bad white people. You know what I'm saying? So it really doesn't matter. It depends on your actions, and it depends on how you treat others. And only like I raised you guys, I say you treat people like you want to be treated. That's a safe way to play it. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's hungry for knowledge. If you got any books in mind that you might want him to read, I will suggest that.
Mom, I read a whole bunch. I read comic books and hood books.
You can give him one. As a matter of fact, some say, hey, you know what? Since you're so interested, I got a good book for you. And tell him the title, where to get the book. Let him read on his own. That way he come with his own, comprehension of what he read when he read. You know what I'm saying? And then he can look at the author. The authors are responsible for them books.
Yeah, that is true.
You don't have to get it. You don't have to get it from Jody or JC. You don't have to get it from you. He can go ahead and get it from that book. The same thing that we do. The reason why a lot of people go back to books, because they want to know is knowledge. Knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things that we learn in school, we didn't learn from life experience. We had to find out for ourselves. We had to go read. We had to go research it. Right now, right now, everything is so accessible to our hands because technology is so advanced. He didn't really have to ask you that unless he's just trying to, test your knowledge and see what kind of person you are and what
I
character
think that's
you
what it
represent.
was. I think that's what it
But
was.
you know what? You displayed integrity. You displayed professionalism. You displayed your character, and you kind of shut him down and let him know, look, we're at work. This is business. That's taking control of the conversation. You didn't let him steer. You shut it down and you moved on. So he's gonna respect you. He's gonna respect you.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like, because that was a situation for me, so I want to ask you, did you be in a situation where somebody thought you were like, because when people first see me, they first impression, they see a 6 foot, 230-pound dude, black, with some tattoos,
with
dreads, and they think that, okay, this I don't know what he got.
You sell drugs.
Yeah, what, man? I get that all the time until they actually meet me, and they be like I go to work. Before I clock in, I be out there reading a book and stuff. They be like, man, what the wrong? You all right, bro? I'm like, well, read it. I read a book, and and then they be like, you swim? You know how to swim? Like, they ask me all these crazy questions, and they be like, how you know this? And like, no, I'm like, well, and I tell people all the time, I like to educate myself because one thing, knowledge is power, which you taught me that, of course, Mom. And I always say to myself, you can never have too much knowledge, and I always feel like by you leaving school, you not forced to learn anything. So I feel like you should always want to learn stuff and learn things that don't pertain to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking to Kel earlier, and I was like, yeah, sand made out of glass. He told me, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I told him glass is made out of sand. He was like sand? I was like, yeah. He was like, oh. I was like, he was like, how you know that? I said, I just looked it up one day, and he was like, oh, okay. He told me, so I'm going to go outside. Right. He said, I'm going to go outside with a light. I said, no, you got to have a high volume of temperature to make that happen. So, like, and I just always like to learn stuff because you never know what you might learn that might help you in the future. So, back to my question, though. Have you ever been, like, at work or anything and somebody has said, oh, I thought she was a ratchet chick, or I thought she was, you know what I'm saying, or been in that situation?
Yeah. Well, being in the career field that I'm in, or property management, and being in real estate, because I come across all kinds of people of gender and religion, or familiar status, handicap, you name it. All of the fair housing rights that we have here, I come across all kinds, but the only incident that I can think of, not here in Texas, because I've only been here for a year, but when I was in Florida, the guy called on the phone. At that particular time, I was a leasing professional. The guy called on the phone, and I guess apparently because the way I talk or how I sound, I've been called, I talk proper. Well, I don't know what that is because I don't hear it. So, that's how I read, that's how I write, that's how I talk, that's how I was raised. So he called, and I told him about the property and the apartment or whatever. So when he came in the lobby to meet with me to get the tour, because I had already kind of talked to him on the phone and got all his information. So when he got there, he says, "Hey, I'm looking for Melanda," that kind of thing. And Melody, I think Melody at the time was my coworker, and she comes to me and she says, "Hey, this guy out there looking for you as a leasing professional," and he thought it was Melody, and he said, "No, this is Melanda." So when I came out, he was very disappointed because when I came out of the office, I was a black chick, and it's like, no, the girl that I talked to on the phone was a white chick, and I kind of laughed a little bit. I get told it all the time, and Melanie says, "No, you talked to Melanda," and he was really upset. So he was like, "I'm not gonna deal with her," Oh, wow. And I'm looking at him, like, okay, you playing, right? I know you playing. Well, come on over here to this table. Let me give you some information so I can see on what my little feel. And he walked over to the table and sat down, and he says, "I'm sorry, is there another leasing professional?" And I was like, when I saw how he said that, I knew he was serious at that time. So I was like, wow, this is serious. Okay, so when I walked back to the office, I told my manager what happened. And she says, "Okay, well, Melanie, go out and give him information, and Melania, you can finish off that, because he can't come in here and dictate, who's going to give you information and to sell you an apartment. You look for an apartment, you look for an apartment, that kind of thing." So, so Melanie went over all the paperwork or whatever. So now it's time to go tour. So as he was walking to go get on the golf cart, he got in the front seat. So I grabbed the golf cart keys and I proceeded to get into the driver's seat because he's in the, the passenger seat in the golf cart. The golf cart, he drive around on the property. So I got in the driver's seat and he politely got up out of the passenger seat and walked around to the back of the golf cart that has a seat in the back. He politely got back there. Yes, he did, and sat back there. And then when we got to the apartment, he didn't want me to come in. He wanted to go to the apartment by himself, so I let him go on in, look at the apartment and come back out. Got onto the golf cart. He got back on the back side. I got on the front side. There was no communication. It was just silent. I might have, said hey to the residents, playing it all. Hey, how you doing, Miss, John? Hey, it is what it is. And get back to the office. We gave him an application, and he left, and he never came back. So that was real different for me. So, but I'm glad that because my skin is thick, I was able to still be who I was, who I'm going to be, and doing what my job is to do is sell you an apartment. That's all. So with me focusing like that and keeping my demeanor, knowing that he was, didn't like my color, my skin, I still did what I had to do. I didn't steal the deal, but I still let him know that, in other words, I wasn't going to let you just come in here and not get, the services that we provide. So we kind of tag teamed them, got on up out of there, and so that was kind of different because I was like, wow, this is my first time somebody treated me like that. That been years. I'm, being in Florida all these years, never experienced that until I worked in Castlewood.
What be your advice to somebody that feel like a way like that? Like, let's say if somebody was in the same situation like that, and they dealt with it, and what would your opinion to them? Because there's people out there probably go through this all the time. So what would be your opinion to help them, don't take it personal or like?
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? It's so ironic you asked me that because at work, I always tell people at work, even coworkers, bosses, assistant managers, a porter, maintenance guys, this is a business, okay? Our emotions and our personal feelings for one another or relationship outside of business relationship should not affect your job performance. It should not affect your job decisions. If that starts to mess all of that up because of how you feel, then you're not going to keep your job very long. And I make that very clear with my team that I'm over, that at the end of the day, we can have fun, we can chit-chat, we can laugh. But when it's time for me to make a business decision, I'm going to make a business decision, and I can't let my emotions or my feelings interfere into what I got to do. Because at the end of the day, I'm running the business like it's my own. Because I'm going to be, got my real estate license, so I'm eventually have my own real estate business. And the same thing goes when I get my own business, is that I may be your friend. You may like me, whatever it is that we have. But at the end of the day, it's all about running my business, So I prefer it to be an asset and not a liability. That's how I look at it.
Okay, that was good. So we talked about that, and I feel like since I have a platform and people do listen to it, and it's things going on right now, of course, in the world, that we have to. I feel like I should give it a minute and talk about this, and I want to talk about the George Floyd situation just for a second. Did you see the video?
Yeah.
You seen the whole thing?
I clipped in. I finally clipped in because I heard about all the commotion going on because I don't watch the news every day because the news is negative news, and because I'm trying to stay positive in my lifestyle is always be positive because what you put in is what come out. So I was watching it that night and I saw it, and what almost brought me to tears was when he said "mama," because I thought about you because you're like the only son that I have, being a black man. That it brought fear to my heart because what if that was my child? That's all I kept saying is, what if that was my child? I can't get to you. I see you on this person, whoever's videoed, George at the time. Thank God for them that they were able to video that. But the only thing that came to my mind is that could be my child. So my heart ached, and I think that's when I reached out to you and Jay and Sonny, all the black males in the family, because I wanted to make sure were you okay, were you safe, are you out of harm's way? Because I pray for protection over the family every day, because every day we get up, we don't know if that's our last day, and that was the first thing I could think about. And then when I heard about he had a daughter, it's like, oh my gosh, another fatherless child, that kind of thing. You think
about all the kids I have.
Yeah, so watching the video, it was very hurtful as a mother It did bring anger to me because I am human. So I was angry for a minute, but I can't let anger consume me, because at the end of the day, I know God is still in control. So because of my belief, and because of I believe that God is in control of everything, I don't know what the purpose is. So I prayed for his family. I don't agree with what the cop did. I wouldn't say because of what that one particular cop did that all the other cops are like him. I would never say that, because I know there's some good cops out there. I know good cops. You know what I'm saying? And white cops, black cops, any kind of cops of any color. So I'm just gonna say about that particular individual, yes, I think he should be held accountable for his actions, because being in a uniform and, like I said, having a job and having a responsibility, regardless of what your feelings are, your emotions are. I don't care if he didn't like black people, whatever. At the end of the day, it's about business, and you have a job to do. And the last time I know, the motto, as they call it, serve and protect. That's all he's supposed to do, serve and protect. Anything outside of serve and protect, to me, is out of line. So that part, yes. Just that individual, I wouldn't be out, dividing everybody into color and making it seem like everybody that's not black is bad. I would never think that, because I think we all are brothers and sisters, and I think that we all have red blood. Last time I checked, so we all are, but we all are individuals, and like I said, we all have our opinions, we all have our different beliefs. I cannot judge you because of what you believe and what you like, what you don't like. But what I can do is judge you by your character.
Most definitely. Yes.
Yeah. So he was definitely out of character. So that is how I feel about the situation, and I just pray that everything come up good of everything that's happening. I don't agree with the rioting. I don't agree with the looting. I do believe in peace. I believe in maybe taking a stand, and voice your opinion. But it was ironic you asked me that, because one of the girls came to me yesterday at work, and she was uproarious with the racist thing, and I don't get into race, and I had to shut her down, and I say, you know what? I say, you're gonna dislike me when I say this, but hear me well. And she was like, oh, what? I say, it's our fault. She said, what you mean it's our fault? I said, it's our fault. I said, you know why? She got mad at me. She really did. She stood up. She stood up at the desk over me. She's short, but she stood up. And I said, no, that's why I said, hear me out. I'm going to say it's our fault, because before my generation and your generation, we don't know anything about politics. Let's keep it real. We really do not know.
I don't know nothing. I'm gonna be honest, Mom. It's funny you said that, because somebody posted a clip of Malcolm X, right? Him talking about the polices and black people. And when I seen it, I was like, okay. I said, somebody was like, oh, this means. I said, well, this is Malcolm X speech. And if you go back and anybody that's listening, it's a speech called "The Ballot and the Bullet." I listened to that speech. I listened to the House Negro speech, and I listened to the Martin Luther King "I'm a Dream" speech. I listen to all three of those speeches every February, because every time February come around, I'm not in school and they don't promote Black history, so I take time out of myself that month to dedicate about 3 hours of my time, because all of them together is run about 3 hours, to educate myself on it. So when people post it, I'd be like, yeah, you posting it, but are you listening? Because you listening, because you can post all day. You know what I'm saying? Like when I tell people like, oh, pray for this family. Yeah, but are you really praying? Like I say that to people all the time. When I say y'all can't post the speech and not hear the whole speech. The whole speech is talking about what's going on now. The ballot and the bullet is talking about what's going on right now. Now, I'm not into politics either, because I just started. I just was able to vote last year because I was convicted felon. So I was at work. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was talking about the political views as far as knowledge. And like I told her, it's our fault. And I told her, I said, it's our fault. And I'm guilty, okay, because being a teenage mom and trying to make a living, I didn't have time to listen to no politics and learn how to vote and who this and who that and other. But I did like you said, I do pick up my Black History books and read how they made the way for us. And what bothered me when I had to educate the young lady yesterday, I said, let me tell you something. At one time, we couldn't even pick up a book and read because of the slavery back then, okay? Mm-hmm. And then we had to fight to become registered voters. The black man was able to vote, and then the black woman was able to vote, okay? So we fought. Every 10 years, we keep fighting our way and making way. We fight our way. We make way. But we got a generation that's coming behind us, and that generation coming behind that generation. So we're lacking knowledge. And I told her, it's our fault. Because you know why? If our people or our generation, let's say that, I want to make it a color thing because it's not. It's our generation. Mm-hmm. After that generation, if they were educated properly, we would have the people that we want to voice our opinion for versus hold up a poster. Mm-hmm. Our vote would count. Oh, no, Milana, no, it's rigged. Oh, no, the voting rigged, girl. You can't, yeah, you can vote all you want to, but it's rigged. I say, you know what? I'm going to vote anyway, whether it's rigged or not, because we don't know what can happen after I vote. That's just like me being heard. That's like me, participating. Not participating, not voting doesn't help. It doesn't help either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why you got voter depression. And when I be like I said, I'm not into politics, but I do listen to a lot of people. And voter depression is one of the things where you got people that's not voting for Democrats or Republicans. They stuck in the middle, and they just at the point where they just give up, and they just like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just not gonna involve myself with it. And that's how you get people that don't vote. That's voter depression.
Yeah, so that's the only reason why I brought the political views, because I believe that we were more and if we were more educated to the fact, we would protest correctly, like our brothers and our sisters and our forefathers did back then. We would know how to protest correctly. All of this looting and all of this stealing and burglary and burning up stuff, because we don't know. They're ignorant. They don't know.
Kel had a good point. Kel said this. He say, you got people yelling Black Lives Matter, right? They're tearing up stuff. They go into people's houses. Kel said this. Shout out to Kel. He said, if you got a black dude protesting, tearing up stuff, and he's saying Black Lives Matter, he's running on somebody's yard, yelling and tearing up stuff, and it's another person that comes out, and they could happen to be white, and it could be their first time interacting with a person that's yelling Black Lives Matter. So they think of the Black Lives campaign, they're like, well, I had a black dude yelling, tearing up stuff in front of my house. So it's kind of like it don't do anything for nobody. Because to the point where I was at not to the point, but it was I was at work Friday, and I was at Winter Park. I saw police coming there, so I asked him a question. I said, "Can I ask you a personal question?" And he was like, "I said, well, I don't know if it's personal or not, so I'm just asking you." He was like, "Yeah, talk to me. It was good." I said, "How do you feel about what's going on?" He was like, "This is his words." He said, "You know what?" He said, "I really hate it." He said, "Because I saw the video and whatever, and we talking this slow at work. We talking." He was like, because he was like, all cops are not like that. He said, I've been working for Winter Park police for 17 years. He said, I only had to put my knee on one person, and I put it on the middle of their back to the point where they can't move because I'm subduing them in the middle of their body. And he said that I only did that for less than a minute, only because the dude was bigger than me, and I was waiting on my partner. My partner got there, and we both detained him. And when he said that, I was listening to him. We talked about other things and all that, about the courthouse and all that stuff like that. And then one of my coworkers was like, "Man, I don't believe him. He lying." I told him, I say, "See, that's the thing right there, that you gotta stop being ignorant." These people, these police officers have wife and kids just like we do. They have children. They have family. So all of them not the same. So by you saying he lying, I know he probably slammed somebody. I say, yeah, but you're looking at all police like that. All of them not like that. I have a homegirl that's a police officer in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that. But, in case I need a background check or something, see what's going on. But, but I have a homegirl that's a police officer. Now, I ain't gonna lie, she'll get up on you now. You run up on her. Don't get it twisted. But she's a good person. I grew up with her playing Mortal Kombat, playing video games. She's a real cool person. She's not, she's not like that. And then I had another incident when, because it been a topic, a conversation where somebody else, I had told them, I was like, oh, they charged him with murder and manslaughter. They was like, oh, that don't mean nothing. That he got charged. Yeah, they just wanted to do that. I say, okay, listen, we can't ask for something then when something happens, we complain. We can't say he need to be charged with murder, and when they charge him, we like, oh, that ain't enough. Then what? We got to start somewhere. It's a start.
Yeah.
Then why they got manslaughter? Because if murder don't stick, you have another alternative to still charge him. I say, so you can't ask for something, and when something happens, you're not, please, But I don't. I just don't like that, and a lot of things that have been said. And I really didn't kind of want to touch on it, but like I said, I feel like I have a platform. I have a voice. I have 5 boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have 5 boys.
My resolution, like I said, I always start with the problem, solution, and result. That's how I live my life. Problems come, I come up with a solution, then a result. So the problem is all of this race and whatever this stuff that's going on. That's a problem. Okay. Mm-hmm. Solution. You need to educate yourself. You know what? I've always learned a pen and paper is the most dangerous weapon you can have. Write. We need to start writing. We need to start voting. And you know what? When you start going to school and taking up certain career, taking up certain professions, then you can be the judge. Then you can be the police officer. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Go take up internal affairs. Those are ones that go and investigate police officers. We need to start getting into these different positions of career so we can, make the world a better place. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We so quick of dropping out of school, and not everybody can go. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's never too late to go to school. I started real estate school about 3-4 years ago at the age of 40-something. I'm 49 now, and I got 2 real estate licenses for 2 states. It's never too late to go back to school. Mm-hmm. So go to school. Take up this. That's, like I said, pen and paper. That's knowledge. Knowledge is power. That's something that no one can ever take from you. No one can ever, use it against you. If you know what you're talking about. But you know what? Put it on pen and paper. Go to the Supreme Court. You can stand up, but stand up with a pencil paper, with that pen and paper, and let that be your weapon. And the result, you may be able to be heard. That's how our forefathers and brothers and sisters that was in slavery was able to stand up. They started reading. They started writing. It only take one person. They only take one person to stand up. That's it. Only one person to make a difference. So that's where your Malcolm X comes. That's where your what is it? What is his name? Yes, all of them. It took one to stand up. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it's rough. I'm quite sure they didn't have a pleasant lifestyle, and the wives and the kids had to go through it. You know what I'm saying? But they made a difference. That's what we're talking about. That's the protest we're looking for, the non-violence. Because you know what Malcolm X and Martin Luther King did? They pushed that pen and paper because they had the knowledge. They didn't use their fists. They didn't use their guns. They didn't use whips. They didn't use this. They didn't use that. They used that knowledge. They used that pen, and they used that paper. That's your weapon right there. And I think that if most of us start learning that, it's going to bring good results. And I think that's how we should take this as an example, and I hate that George Floyd had to be an example, Trayvon Martin had to be an example, all these that have been an example that came in conflict with the law and lost their lives, it's tragedy, and it's very sad, and but we do have to take a stand. And my understanding, Trayvon Martin, I just heard that today, that his mom is actually running for commissioner, or either commissioner or mayor, one of the positions, and because she's doing exactly what I said. After her son went through that, she took a stand, when they got the knowledge, she's pushing pen and paper, and now she's running for office. That's how you fight. That's how you fight.
They're tearing up our own own places and stuff and all that. That just don't make. And it get to the point where I get the protest and I get you mad, you outraged, but then it get to a point where I feel like you're just taking advantage of the opportunity and you're just tearing up stuff, breaking the store. Now you're being a criminal versus being a protester, and it's sad to see that. And I don't know, like to the point where everybody got an Amber Alert today. We got to be in the house, like. Really?
Yeah. and you know what? And what's so ironic is COVID-19 shut us down. Bam. Okay, that was one epidemic. Then we turned around Now we got COVID. We trying to recover from COVID. Now that we don't recover from COVID, all those undercover criminals that's been housed up for so long, that's all that looting is. That's all of that anger is and stuff. They taking it and they using their energy in the wrong, in the wrong aspect. So those are all undercover criminals that been dying to do what they doing right now. So I don't agree with the president saying, "Oh, those just thugs." I wouldn't call those criminals thugs. But I would say that they had, they're doing it. They're going about it the wrong way. I wouldn't call them out their name, but they're doing it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I'm saying? We've been housed for 2 to 3 months. Now we're hungry. We're desperate. We're angry, and we're just using it as an excuse to go out there and now do this crime. But we're tearing down other businesses, that has already been shut down for months at a time. And now we're, breaking in and now causing these business owners, more money and stuff to get their business back up. They're not really thinking.
And it's in our own community too, so it just makes it harder for us.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But they do need. I forgot who the lady was, the police officer that I put on my page. I like her speech. She's the only one that I really like so far that really made sense to me. And
tag it to me when you get some time.
Yeah, I like her. Now that I agree with everything she said, because I'm a mother, you know what I'm saying, and I believe there's a right way to do anything, and violence and property destruction is not the answer. So I am praying for the world. I'm praying for everyone to be safe, all colors for that matter, because I'm not racist, nor do I, judge people by their color, because we all brothers and sisters at the end of the day, and not all, people of any color is considered to be bad, but at the end of the day, we do need to come together as a nation, as a, brothers and sisters, and just try to, get, be heard, properly in front of these police officers or the courts or, the Supreme Court for that matter, just to be heard, but not to go and be destructive. That's out of hand. It's unnecessary, and it needs to stop.
Yeah, I had one more thing I wanted to say before you go. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Another thing I don't like to hear, and that bothers me, is when we get like a police that does something to us as black men. I don't like when people say, well, like, somebody say, oh, black people kill black people all the time, y'all kill each other. See, the difference between is when it's a police killing us, don't cover it up with saying that, like you saying, oh, black on black crime. No, this is not a black on black crime. This is a police on black men crime. So when you try to entwine the two and make it seem like we killing each other, it's like, no, when a police officer kills a black man, we need to stand on the fight for police justice, and if it's a black on black crime, we need to stick with black on black crime. Because when people because when you talk about black on black crime in a situation where it does with the police of hurting one of us, it's like to me, I feel like you're like clouding people's judgment on what's really going on. So that's something else I wanted to let everybody know, that we gotta separate the two. We can't say, oh, the police killed a black man. Oh, y'all kill each other all the time. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about police justice.
Two separate scenarios. Two separate, two separate, accusations. It's totally separate. And the police wears a uniform.
Yes.
They have a duty. Okay. Yes. If I go fight the next black chick in the street, that's just, battery. We just fighting each other. Mm-hmm. But if I have a uniformed person who's supposed to serve and protect, who I'm supposed to trust, who has a job to do, you know what I'm saying? That's a different total scenario. You can't hit the police. That, battery on the police. They call it assault on a police officer.
Yeah, you going to jail.
You can't do that. Right is right and wrong is wrong, but they're definitely two different scenarios, two different sets of battery.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate you, Ma, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work. And hopefully this goes a long way and be able to open the eyes of some people. Maybe they can think about what was discussed tonight and let it, as a I forgot the little comedian name, but let that sizzle in your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Go get some knowledge.
Absolutely.
But I do, like I said, prayer for everybody. My condolences to the Floyd, and thank you for, reaching out and asking about the topic of being offended,
Yes.
because most of people of color is easily to be offended, but that you were in a situation where you able to, give knowledge and education to the young lad that came up to you that was white, and just letting him know that not all black people are alike. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good thing to do, and keeping it separate. Business is business, and pleasure is pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do. Good topic, very good topic for the situation at hand.
Thank you, Ma. I appreciate you.
All right, love you.
All right, late too, Ma.
Lord Jesus, no, please be safe.
No, I'll stay in the house. I ain't got time for these Negroes.
Yes.
I'm in the house, shoot. I'm finna watch me some. I'm finna watch me TV. I ain't got time.
Absolutely. And I'll check on you guys from time to time, and we all just stay in prayer. Like I say, I still highly believe that God is still in control over everything. But we just got to get through this. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Hopefully, it does not last long. But I do know trouble does not last always. So that is what I truly believe. But be safe. Say your prayers. Go to work, go home. And COVID is still out there. We're fighting two epidemics. So just don't add a bird. And let's try to, protect each other and love each other,
Yes, ma'am. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Thanks. I love you.
All right, later too, Ma.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed that conversation and everything, man. I want to tell y'all, I really appreciate y'all once again. And I like to tell y'all that all the time because I really do. And my condolence goes out to the Floyd family, and rest in peace, George Floyd. I didn't want to touch on the subject a lot, but I felt like by me having a platform, and I tell people I have 5 kids, well, 5 boys. I actually have 7 kids and 5 boys, and I just felt like I feel like you have a platform, and I'm a black male. I feel like you should touch on stuff like that, so I appreciate y'all enjoying that and everything. And if, like I said before, if anybody want to ever come on and have a conversation or talk, it's always open. The podcast is for everybody that wants to get on it. It's no discrimination. If you ever want to be anonymous, we can do that as well. So I hope everybody stays safe. Stay out the streets. Remember that we are dealing with 2 epidemics. So just make sure you wash your hands and stuff at the same time. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.